Okay, so I'm going to show you a song I made a couple of months ago. It's not finished, but it's going on an album that I'm making. It's probably 50% done. I don't have the vocals on it yet, but it's one of my favorite tracks I've made in the last couple months. Mostly because it's actually one of the most simple. It's not often that you get just a few tracks coming together in a way that's so full and evocative. So first I guess I'll just let you hear it, and then we can go through how I made it. I don't normally start with any ideas. I typically just play the first thing that comes to my mind on the first instrument I pick up. And in this case, it happened to be this guitar line. I don't even think I practiced it. I think it was just a sort of random thing. I played it to a metronome, and to be honest, it doesn't, even at this point, make me feel anything. Like, I wouldn't say it's good. It doesn't mean anything. And that's kind of why I tend to start this way, just with like a random idea, because in order for something to like acquire meaning and feeling, like it has to have a context. So this is just sort of the background against which I'm making the rest of the song. So I left it in the beginning, even though I never actually use it again in the entire song. The first thing I built off of that was this next guitar line. To me, it makes me feel a little bit lonely, or reflective, nostalgic maybe. And part of that is the quality of the sound. So you notice the guitar kind of sounds a little bit unique. It almost sounds antique, like it's being played really slow on a record or something. And that's because I actually literally slowed the recording down a lot. I think the original sounds like much different. Yeah, but I planned this. I planned to slow it down, like when I recorded it. So I played it really fast and high pitched, so that you ended up with something that sounded a little kinder to the ears. What I'm listening for, like when I'm writing a song, it puts a picture into my head, almost going to like a dream state. So then I added a bass and some drums, and it just sounded like this. Pretty awesome. I was really excited about that. I wanted to emphasize this kind of lonely sound that the song was giving me, so I added the piano. I used a kind of slightly out of tune piano. I was inspired by the piano that's in The Goonies. There's like this piano line that's playing like all throughout the movie. Actually, you know what? The vision I have for the song is that movie, but if it was more of a drama and less of a children's movie. I'm imagining like riding your bike through a misty, rural, northeast United States. I don't know, maybe it doesn't come across the same way to everyone, but that was the idea. And then I felt like this section needed one more thing, one more just bit of character, something that if each track is a color palette, the guitar is like orange and dusty, and the drums are kind of like this deep, dark maroon, brown. Maybe the piano is kind of like this light, yellowy sunlight dancing, or like a drop of water with some light glistening on it or something. I felt like what it really needed was like a wind, something blue. And I needed to take the color palette from warm to cool, so I added these clarinets. It's actually a clarinet mixed with a cello, and I wanted to come in sort of abruptly, almost like it's sitting up. I realize it's like really difficult to explain my reasoning on a lot of this stuff. It's just like a completely intuitive, nonverbal process when I'm writing. Basically, the next section, I have no idea how to explain it. I had this mostly emotional song up until this point. Like, nothing felt very technically difficult about it, and it was very simple. I think the lyrics I was writing for it just felt a little bit saccharine. Like, I felt like I was leaning a bit too heavily into this like emo vibe, and I kind of wanted to have something to balance it out. So this next section, I kind of pictured it as being a little bit more like intellectual. I had no idea what I was going to write next, but I knew that I kind of wanted it to be like rhythmic. I didn't want to focus so much on the notes in themselves, just as long as they were in the right key. And so started by just recording this tiny little bit here. And then I was just thinking, okay, what could come next? I messed around a little bit. That was the move. And then I was like, okay, what if I added a third part? So that was it. Then I just recorded it again, but I just panned the guitars to either side so you get it in stereo. Bass line that I also played on the guitar to just give it a bit more texture. Oh, I forgot to mention, I also just felt like the melody wasn't coming through clearly enough, so I also played it on a piano down here. I feel like this is the piano you'd have on a pirate ship. Yeah, and then the finished section sounded like this. So yeah, again, it doesn't really make me feel a particular way. In a way, it's almost a bit chaotic, maybe kind of annoyed, stressed out. But it balances out the rest of the song, which I really like the transition moment. There we go. Anyway, that's the song so far. Lots more where that came from. I hope I did a decent job explaining it. I felt like I did a horrible job, but it's getting late and I need to post something today. So